everybody, and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a new fragrance that was actually released this year, 2016. It's one of the newer releases that I'm going to go ahead and review, and we are talking about none other than Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme Ultime. Now, L'Homme Ultime, again, released this year, brand new fragrance. It's one that I've heard quite a lot about. And on my previous video where I posted and asked for people to go ahead and list off what fragrances they would like me to review, this one was at top of the list, and good thing, because I had already actually been prepping the review. And I was like, okay, I'm well on my way. And a lot of the fragrances that people had suggested that I review were already in the works, if you will. So this one, no exception. Now, it's available in two main sizes. This is available in a 3.4, and it's available in a 2 ounce. The 3.4 is going to run you about $100, and the 2.0 is going to run you about $80. So it's a little bit more on the expensive line, and since I've actually returned to Yves Saint Laurent fragrances, I've noticed that they've raised their prices. So unfortunately, they're a little bit more expensive than they used to be, but I guess that's the rocks. That's how much they're deciding to charge now for some of these fragrances. All right, so a little bit disappointing, but that's pretty much all you're going to get. Now, for those of you who are not familiar, Ultime is actually a flanker of the L'Homme series. Now, L'Homme has many flankers. It has Gingembre, it has the La Nuit de l'Homme, it has L'Homme Sport, it has so many flankers of it, and they all kind of run with the same DNA. So let's see what this one actually smelled like, all right? So starting off with the notes. You can see the notes on the screen. The main highlight that I kind of took away from it was the addition of rose. Right? Now, whenever I see rose in a fragrance, I'm kind of expecting a certain type of scent, and I have to say that this caught me by surprise because this was not really what I was expecting. First, this really does have the same DNA as the other fragrances from the L'Homme line. So it has the same DNA as L'Homme and has the same DNA as La Nuit de l'Homme, right? The first thing that I get right off the bat is a sweet cedar smell. And the cedar smell kind of reminds me of sort of the dry down of La Nuit de l'Homme. But the sweet cedar smell is really what attracts me to the fragrance. I love cedar, and I love sweet fragrances, and so that's perfect for me. And as the fragrance kind of develops on, that's when I start to get a little bit more of rose in the scent. In the scent, I get rose, and then I get another note that really hasn't ever jumped out to me, and that's sage. Rose and sage are really the two things that jump out at me after the cedar, and it's a very pleasant, warm, inviting smell. It starts to turn into a creamy, woody smell, and you start to get a little bit of remnants of L'Homme. And by L'Homme, I know it doesn't have apple listed in it, but I kind of get that appley vibe that I get from L'Homme coming from this fragrance. Anyways, besides that, you get this creamy rose smell, and then it kind of dries down to this powdery, sweet, woody, like flowery or rose smell that kind of comes in. I say flowery because it has a little bit of sage plants, if you will. So at the end of the day, sweet woods is what you're getting with this scent. And I have to say, I was really surprised by how much I actually liked it. Now, I don't think that it's too far off base from the La Nuit de l'Homme and from L'Homme. It smells like a very nice kind of addition to it. Now, I will say that Ultime, its translation is, it's like the final of the series, or, the final one. That's what they supposedly say, and I think I heard it mentioned that this was the final one of the L'Homme series. Now, I don't believe that for a second. It wouldn't surprise me if L'Homme comes out with another flanker or not, so I just kind of view that as a marketing term, if you will, or a marketing gimmick. Maybe somebody from Yves Saint Laurent did say that, but even so, I don't even think they know themselves. I think there could very well be another flanker. But if out of all of the La Nuit de l'Homme or the L'Homme series, I actually think this is the best of them. It has the best smelling one, and as far as once you get to the performance of this, that's really where this one shines. This gives you a good 8 to 10 hours on your skin. If you spray it on your clothes, it's going to last even longer. But again, I don't recommend smelling or spraying clothes. It's a great fragrance for any age group, whether it be a younger person, older person. It's a fragrance that I go usually about 3 sprays on, and even that is a little bit iffy. You could get away with 2 just because it is such a powerful fragrance, and it does have a really strong aura that projects. So it projects a good like 5-6 feet and it does absolutely fantastic on that. It's a great fragrance for any season and almost any occasion that I can think of. You can wear it out on a date, you can wear it dressed down, you can wear it to work. There's almost no scenario that I can think of that you cannot wear this fragrance in. And same thing goes with season. The only thing I would caution, again, if it's the summer, be careful, tone it down, try not to spray as much of this fragrance on. And compliment-wise, this one shone. This one got compliments. It got definitely one unsolicited compliment, but it also got compliments when I asked people what they thought it smelled like, you know, how was it smelling, and people were over the moon about this one. They loved it, absolutely loved it. So this is definitely one that is a little bit higher on the compliment scale. All right? So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating of 9 out of 10. It barely misses a 10 out of 10. And the reasons why I don't give it a 10 out of 10, the first and foremost reason is I do think that it smells a little bit too similar to its flankers, or its brothers, if you will. Brothers and sisters, if you will. The other reason is I do think it still does a little irk me that the YSL fragrances are now going for slightly over 100 if you buy the 3.4. That's a little bit disappointing just because when they were down, I thought their value was a little bit better and was one of the main draws that I had for recommending people to buy these Saint Laurent fragrances. But now that the price is up there a little bit, it's a little bit tougher to do, but it still doesn't take away the fact that it is a good fragrance. So if I'm comparing the three, not the three, but all of the Yves Saint Laurent line, and just starting off actually with the three, I would say that I like Ultime the best, YSL La Nuit de l'Homme right under it. L'Homme would come in third. And then there's a bunch of other Yves Saint Laurent fragrances, but those are the three top ones, to me at least, amongst the line. And that's generally what I'm thinking of it. But at the end of the day, excellent fragrance. This is one that lasts long. You can wear it almost any occasion. It's great smelling. It's going to get you compliments if that's what your goal is. But at the same time, it kind of has this confidence boosting kind of enthusiasm coming from it. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts are on Ultime. If you've given it a try, if you've smelled it, let me know. Just your thoughts on it. Share with others. Give them your opinion. Your opinion can be completely different than mine. I won't care. Leave it down there so people have something, to use for their own judgment. All right? Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.